Urban Wine Tribe, it's your boy JM, the corner store wine connoisseur. You are witnessing the very first episode of Urban Wine Tribe TV. This all started with a passion for wine, but I have many passions, but what I learned is wine is a great bridge to bring all of those passions, cultures, and people together, all on one platform, which is what we have here, Urban Wine Tribe TV. We're gonna kick off the show with famed Gillette performing his hit single, Chips. Let's get the show started.
Check. Shout out to my guy. Check right now. Hey.
I'm a big shotter, I'm a big roster, big pose in the stash for a big talker, big fine Sasha with the big knockers, have goons in your house like they big mama. I got peso, call me big bro. I got NJ locked, I'm the big show. Out in VA, I got thick hoes. Out in LA live, you on your tiptoes. I got big juice, bitch I'm big time. I just hope you getting yours, I'ma get mine. She a fine one, and she big fine. And I know better now, you could keep your tricks on. I got chips now, I got chips now. I can't fall for your tricks now. I got chips now, I got chips now. I can't fall for no bitch now. I got chips, I can't fall for no bitch. I can't fall for your motherfucking tricks now. I got chips, I can't fall for no bitch. I can't fall for your motherfucking tricks now. Now go get the jammy. If you go against the family, we just up in the ante. I'm up in her panties, pushing foreigns, no Camrys. Word is born on my granny. I'm in this for big checks. I VS the big gets. The Lord is my witness. I'm ballin', no fitness.
Thank you for being patient, guys. The two lovely ladies over here, come on up. The three gentlemen in the back, Ryan, Mitch, and John, come on up. So the first one of the night is the Soledades French Rosé from Provence, France. I just recently got onto the French Rosé wave. I always came up thinking that pink wines were not good wines, which are completely false. Not only are they good wines, but they serve a great purpose. French rosés are very approachable, very fun. You get a lot of floral flavors, perfume flavors. They can tend to be a little exotic, erotic. Some would even say they have aphrodisiac powers. The good ones, the good ones. The first video I ever did for Urban Wine Tribe TV was teaching people how to taste wine. So if I can have one of the ladies as a volunteer, Charisma, would you mind being my volunteer? I'm gonna teach the world how to taste wine. As a server, one of the most awkward moments in service was presenting a bottle of wine. Oftentimes people didn't feel comfortable receiving a bottle of wine because they're not comfortable with the steps. I think it's very simple. I approach tasting wine like I approach a woman. Charisma, if you would, please. So when you first have your wine, you want to observe the wine, similar to as you would observe someone that you are approaching, that you're interested in getting to know, right? So you're gonna kind of take a good look. You want to get a good view of the features. Yeah, you want to lean it in a little bit, right? So you want to get, you want to hit them angles. You get what I'm saying, right?
So what are we looking for when we look at it?
You're looking for a color, like this is a certain type of pink, right? Like maybe like a salmon. So right, you're approaching the woman, you're observing, checking her out, right? Seeing what's going on over here, right? Now you want to open up the wine. Opening up the wine allows air to get inside the glass, and you start to view its true personality, its true characteristics, right? I compare opening up a glass of wine to like a pickup line, right? Like, for example, excuse me, are you a pilot?
Am I one?
Are you a pilot?
No.
You sure?
I'm positive.
Because you fly. Now, so to get air, the most amount of air in the glass, you want to give it a swirl, right? You want to open it up. You want to give it a nice little swirl, right? Get it nice and open, right?
So you want to smell it too, right?
Now the wine's comfortable. The wine, air has gotten into the wine. Now you're starting to see the wine's true personality, true characteristics.
That's after about a minute or so, or like 2 minutes of it being open, or like how long, you know?
I mean, as patient as you can be.
Okay.
As patient as you can be is great. Rosés are typically ready to drink.
Okay.
White wines, typically ready to drink. Red wines, you want to give those as much time as possible. So we are going to pair the rosé wines with some salads. So a name I also go by is the half bottle Don. Half bottles are my favorite. They're non-committal. You get 2 glasses out of them. What I really like to do with half bottles are date nights. I'll grab three half bottles, a rosé, a white, and a red wine, and I'll pair that with 3 different courses. One course that's always popular on a date night for me is my strawberry salad. I don't like tomatoes, so I replace them with strawberries. We do a little bit of blue cheese, a nice fruity vinaigrette. Let's watch this salad go down. Right? So what you have is a mesclun greens, blue cheese, fresh strawberries, and we hit that with a little bit of some raspberry vinaigrette. A very simple salad to make, goes perfectly with the rosé.
Fill it up, catch it. It's a cocktail.
So we're gonna get it. You don't want to do too much, you know. Give that a nice toss. Some just got on my face. Did you see that? Is there something on my face? Jake, don't make me look stupid out here.
Why not?
So what you want to do is you want to get, get you a nice a bite with a taste of the rosé. That should taste slamming to me. The rosé is super smooth, very complimentary, very versatile. You can pair it with many salads, fruits, light chicken dishes, grilled chicken. This has, it's very light, but it also can carry its own weight with a lot of different food items. You like that? Nice and easy. I like to add usually some almonds or maybe some croutons for some crunch, but you want to create the consistencies, right? A little cheese, a little, the strawberries, which I use because, again, I don't like tomatoes. You can throw some cucumbers in there, some red onions. So we're going to be slowly working our way into the next rosé. How do we like the rosé? Anyone not care for the rosé? And listen, no one's paying for shit. If you don't like the wine, you go ahead and say it. Ain't nobody.
We got a manager back there. We can complain.
Ain't nobody in my pocket. But with that being said, I love the rosé. This is exactly the mood I want to set with that right individual. So now we're going to work our way into the white wine. So I want to mention, we have a couple of sponsors today. A few sponsors, I should say. Number one, of course, is Bottleco. Look at this beautiful bottle. Isn't this a beautiful setup? So thank you for Bottleco for having us. Really excited to be here. Also, we have Lit Barbecue. Chef Angel Class, who was in the I'll Bring the Wine episode along with famed Gillette. He sponsored the food this evening. So we have some wings. We're going to get ready to hand out some Thai wings and some honey barbecue wings. His barbecue is off the hook. Food's banging. So we're going to start handing those out very soon here. And we're going to get into this white wine. We are now moving on to the white wine. We are trying the Viña Godival Cepas Vellas. It's from the Gaudello grape, which is very similar to a more common grape, which is the Chardonnay. Whenever I'm drinking Chardonnay, I'm looking for consistency, whether it's a buttery texture, a silky texture, oily. That's important to me when I'm drinking Chardonnay. So being that this is in a similar family from the Chardonnay, that's the first thing I'm gonna look for. So go ahead and remember, we're gonna give it a swirl, right? We're gonna check it out. Let's talk about the color real quick.
Looks like pee.
It looks like pig. You've been watching my videos. You've been watching my videos, huh, baby? You've been learning something. You've been learning you something. You need some water in your life, baby. You need some water in your life. I would have went with like a golden straw color, but you're not wrong. You ain't wrong.
Subjective.
Let's put a nose. Slow it down. Slow it down. Let's put a nose to it. You gotta swallow that, buddy.
I didn't taste it. I just gulped it first, so brother, we're good. It's still, yeah.
Let's try to get something on the nose on this wine. Let's try and see if we can identify some fruit here. Often in Chardonnays, apple.
Yeah.
Nailed it. Now, that's what I got. Apple, a little bit of pear, a little bit of pear vibes.
Naturally.
Whatever you guys say is what I.
All right, she smells grapes. Show episode's over. I mean, she just cracked the code.
That's why we got you though, brother.
What about
Tapping this shit.
what about citrus? Orange. What about lemon? You get a little lemon.
The grapefruit?
I see grapefruit.
Grapefruit.
I think, yeah.
I just went in for the sip, by the way.
If you smell it though, it's there.
A little butter vibes. Anyone, and don't have to agree with me. You can say no, right? Butter, olive oil. Do you get any oak? Any lavender, floral?
100% on
You got some oak?
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah. I got a little floral.
maybe floral, yeah.
Like probably like a white flower.
Like
Carnation, daisies, sunflowers.
Where's this from?
Where is this from? This is from Spain.
Okay.
We went with Spain for the white wine. So yeah, golden on the color, golden straw. We got some apple pear vibes on the nose. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
On the flavor, a little bit of oak. Oh, I get a little bit of butter.
A little bit.
I get a little toasty. What about almond? Anyone get any like toasted almond on it? That's the advanced course.
Yeah,
That's the advanced course.
I don't know. This was the intro level.
Guys, enjoy some chicken. Enjoy some chicken, please. So again, thank you again to Chef Angel Class from Lit Barbecue for sponsoring the food, the wings for the show. Right now I'm trying this honey barbecue wings. The wine melts right over it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The wine is, I mean, it's a no-brainer, easy pairing, super tasty. You put a little bite, you take a little bite, and you know, kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like milk and, it's kind of like milk and cookies, but you don't want to dip the food in the, you know, you just kind of want to eat it.
Oreos.
Right, right. White wine and chicken is such a easy pairing. I mean, you know, you can go red wine with chicken. You might want to go on the lighter side of a red wine, a light to medium bodied red wine. But otherwise, white wines are the easy pairing, especially Chardonnay because of that buttery, oily texture. You know, think of it like cooking, right?
Even for fried chicken, like it doesn't, grilled chicken versus fried chicken, like, or, you know, like lightly breaded chicken, like white wine's okay all day long?
Right. No, that's a great question. So for fried foods, I would more recommend something acidic, something that breaks up the fat of fried foods. And also for spicy wings, I would recommend a sweet white wine, like a Riesling. So with the spice, you want to cut the spice with something sweet, something a little creamy. California Sauvignon Blancs are, in my opinion, a great blend of acidity and creaminess. And for spicy food, spicy wings, Thai food, great way to go.
So what about breakfast? Can wine go with breakfast?
You definitely been following me. You've been following along. So I did a wine and cereal pairing once,
Wow.
where I poured wine into cereal. So I did rosé with Fruit Loops. I did Chardonnay with Apple Jacks, and I did Pinot Noir with Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That was terrible.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
That was terrible. Pinot Noir and the Cinnamon Toast Crunch were disgusting. However, the Apple Jacks and Chardonnay tasted like spiced apple pie.
Wow.
And the Fruit Loops and rosé, you would have never knew that I replaced the milk with wine because it tasted exactly like milk and Fruit Loops, bro. No difference. That's how awesome I nailed that pairing. So to go back to your question, red wine and cold pizza is a common breakfast for me. So if you want to count that as breakfast, all day long.
Gotcha.
All day long. But we also did an episode of Drink Outside the Box where I did pair wine with French toast and eggs, and white wine is the way to go for breakfast. Light,
And what time are you
sparkling.
waking up? Like, what time is this breakfast? Is this
7 a.m.
a 2 p.m. breakfast?
Well, I mean, I don't think right. I don't think that's technically considered breakfast anymore. We're classy.
it is.
We're classy. It's brunch.
True.
All right. Animal.
Yeah.
How about the wings, guys? Awesome, right?
Great. Yeah, this is the first time I've paired wine with barbecue. I mean, and for whatever reason, I guess I always thought like beer and barbecue. You know, that was like the default switch or the default setting. You know, and I don't know where that came from. You know, why we're programmed that way. You know, like a keg and like a grill.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, like, why wine? Where did you start? Like, did that idea come from? Yeah, I'm curious. Like, why not beer? Why aren't you telling us to drink beer right now?
Sure. Well, so I mean, it's quite simple. I just don't like beer.
Okay.
I'm not, and I've never been much of a drinker. How I got into the wine industry was through working at a restaurant, which we've worked at together. And I wanted to make the most amount of money possible, so I learned how to sell expensive wine. And so because I learned how to sell expensive wine, I got to taste expensive wine. And then I started gaining the palate, right? And I'm trying to make money, so I'm learning about it. Now I'm starting to like taste different wines and different flavors with different foods, you know what I mean? And so that's how it kind of took off for me. Now what I realized within what I'm doing is that there's a huge language barrier within the wine industry. The wine language is not our natural language. We use words in wine that we don't use in our normal life, which is more common than we think. I mean, if you've ever heard two people talk about fantasy football, that's its own language in itself, right? If you listen to women talk about cosmetics, that's its own language itself, very unfamiliar to me. So the same thing with wine. So, you know, a big part of this was me trying to break down the language a little bit, trying to make it a little bit more similar or familiar to how your everyday person speaks. Listen, beer, knock yourself out. For different strokes for different folks.
Right.
But yeah, wine is healthier.
True.
Wine is healthier. I'm really into the different places in the world where wine comes from, even though beer comes from many different places in the world as well. But I'm just really into like the culture behind the wine and the people, the food that these wines come from. Quick public service announcement. As someone who drinks for a living, this is key. Water is key. You gotta drink water. You still get a great buzz. But you're in control. It controls the headaches, especially for the red wine, because we get the headaches from the dehydration, right? So the water evens it out. All right, it keeps the headaches away. You're feeling less sick in the morning. That's all alcohol and liquor.
Yeah.
It's just a better buzz. Like, I'm still feeling nice, but I'm in control, and that's what the water does. So make sure you drink water. Drink responsibly. From your boy, the corner store wine connoisseur. So now we're going to get into the red wine, which is the Monte Acijo Rioja from Spain. Before we do, I want to bring up our other sponsor for this episode. Let's bring up Misha Max.
Hey.
She made all of these beautiful macaroons.
I've never had a macaroon.
Hey, all right.
Thanks, guys.
Oh,
Thank you so
Pleasure
much.
being here.
Thank you. Grab your wine. When we met, we hit it off right away. Super cool, super supportive. I really
Thanks.
appreciate that. You taught me right away the correct pronunciation. I always pronounce it as macaroons. It's not pronounced that.
You know, what do they say? As long as you don't call me late to dinner, you
Right.
call my,
Right.
I'm not going to throw anyone out for saying the wrong pronunciation, but it is pronounced macaron. You know, people say don't call it a cookie. You could call it whatever you want, as long as mishmax is involved somewhere in it. Macaron, macaroon. It's you can't go macaron. So.
all right.
So.
I don't like that. We're not using that.
Cheers. No, I just have to say that this guy is awesome. He's doing an amazing job bringing incredible knowledge to everyone.
Yes.
Wine is no longer standoffish. It's
Yes.
for everybody. It came from a humble background. It's been elevated to amazing heights, and that's exactly what you're doing with it and your brand. And I'm really happy you called me. Really, thank you for letting me be here. Cheers.
Cheers to that, guys.
So,
Bring it in.
what a great crowd. Like, could I be next to any prettier women up here either? So,
So tell us about the macaroons. What do we have here?
Mishmax, what I brought to you today, I wanted to do a wine kind of focused cookie for you tonight. See, I'm calling it cookie. Who doesn't love a cookie? Come on. So I went with what I thought would be represented as wine colors. So I brought Goldie, our shard, if you will. I like to have fun with things, of course, as you should with all things in life. So this one is called Put the Lime in the Coconut Macadamia, and it is a gluten-free almond nut shell. So I'm sorry about nut allergies, but if you're looking to cut somewhere, these are your friends. I actually didn't put any color. It's a natural shell, and I go with a gold airbrush. I made the buttercream, a coconut buttercream with fresh lime zest, and macadamia Italian sea salt. And I actually made for you a special ginger pineapple caramel.
Oh.
So taste this one.
This is my first macaroon. I've never had a macaroon before ever.
Oh my god.
Macaron.
So good.
Cheers on the other side. You know, macaroons are so tough. This beautiful little purple guy.
Ooh, that sounds good.
I made a peanut butter buttercream and a fresh blackberry coulis. And I was actually, I had a great business meeting today. I hope it's the beginning of
Congratulations.
many things. Thank you. So I was like, I need a sandwich afterwards. And so I came home and made peanut butter jelly much. So, you know, that's how I roll, with a lot of inspiration from, you know, where I'm at, like a San Francisco trip, a trip out to the forest, the woods, the beach.
I think there's such a value in nostalgia.
Yeah.
You know, who can't relate to a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? You know, who doesn't? You know, right away, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches take me back to my grandmother. You know, she used to make me peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Then she would cut off the crust and roll them up into like peanut butter and jelly rolls. Because I didn't eat crust. Because I didn't like the crust. She would roll them up, you know, cover them, smother them in peanut butter and jelly. Game changer. Game changer.
What's what is a macaroon? Like, what does it take? Because
So-
you've said like the shell, the cookie crust, and the filling is different for each one. So like, what
Is it like
does
a
take
wafer?
to make a macaroon?
Well, the true definition of macaron, like I said, has Italian origin, and it actually comes from the same meaning of macaroni, which would be like, yes, which would be like a new dough, great dough. So and it was started in Italy and then carried to France through marriage. You know, back in the day, like everything, we all travel and end up somewhere. Came out of necessity. Nuns had to support the convent during the French Revolution. They added the cream in the middle, and it became the sandwich that we know, a macaroon in France. Started as a shell in Italy. 200 years later, it became the delicious sandwich delicacy that the French have really endeared close to their hearts and, you know, mastered.
So it's two shells
Yes,
filled with
it's
with
two
the
shells
cream,
made out of almond flour.
almond flour.
Yes,
Yeah, okay.
with egg white.
So, where can my audience find you?
Well, I'm here tonight. No, I'm kidding. They can find me all the time on www.mishmax.com. It's my new website. You know, bear with me. It's not totally profesh. I'm a one-girl show with a village behind me, I should say. So, you know, this is my grassroots year. On Instagram, MishmaxNJ. On Facebook, Mishmax. And so I'm Michelle with one L. It's a play on my name. So it's MICHMACS. Somewhere along the lines, I read that the French dip ladyfingers in their
Yeah.
champagne.
That's some Italian
so I'm
shit.
going to suggest that we dip our macaroon tonight in your red Bioho Romeo.
You ain't saying nothing to me.
And let me tell you, you won't be able to go
Yeah. She knows what show she's on.
That one tastes like strawberry shortcake. Like the good humor.
It's a
Ice
fresh.
cream?
No, my favorite cartoon was
I
Strawberry
wish I
Shortcake.
just didn't eat 6 of them.
God, that's my favorite. That one. Is
You really
so
should dip it in the
good.
red wine.
Really?
Yeah, it's really good.
You
It
really
really
should dip
is.
it in. My man Finn, come in for a little macaroon. Yo, Finn, you got one more song in you tonight? You got one more for me?
Better have another cookie.
Thank you so much, baby. Thank
Wow.
you.
Yeah. All right, chef.
Meat Max, everybody. Meat Max.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much,
You guys
baby.
are killing it.
Did you dip it in the wine?
For Spanish red wines, you can literally taste the passion made in Spanish red wines. I love Tempranillos. They have 3 of my favorite characteristics: chocolate, bacon, and cigars.
Wait, bacon?
Bacon.
Bacon makes everything better.
So I say bacon to make it a little bit more broad and understandable, but it's really like maybe like a spicy smoked
hickory.
meat. It could be hickory for sure, a little bit of mesquite barbecue type of thing. Like, so think smoked meat. I say bacon because it's a spicy word, right? People love bacon, but it's just another word for it. Same thing with when I say cigar. What I'm really saying is smoke and tobacco flavors, maybe a little bit of leather. You get what I'm saying? And what was the other one? Chocolate. Sometimes it could be dark chocolate. Sometimes it could be bittersweet chocolate. But it's usually this nice little rich flavor to it. Sometimes it's cinnamon, but I ballpark it. You don't have to nail every single note. It doesn't have to be the most precise, most profound flavor you've ever had in your life. It can taste like Jolly Ranchers. It can taste like Fruit Loops. It can taste like whatever you think it tastes like. People often, when they're tasting wine, they're in their gut, they know what they're tasting, but they don't want to say it in fear of sounding stupid, which is a silly thing with wine. There's no wrong way to learn. We're all gonna learn one way or another. I didn't, just open up a bottle of wine one day and started spitting out flavors and stuff like that. That takes time and practice, but in the meantime, you just gotta enjoy it however you can. It's important to enjoy it. Alone is good. Wine alone is great, but with food it's better, and with the people you love, it takes it to a next level, right? You can recreate these memories that you have with people through wine. I remember certain times. I remember certain places. I remember the people I've experienced certain times in my life with over a glass of wine. Wine appeals to your sense of taste, your sense of smell, your sense of sight, Sometimes if you put your ear close, you can.
You can hear the ocean.
Hear her calling on the other side, on the coast of Spain somewhere. You know.
Pretty sure I believed you for a second.
You know.
So you put your ear to it. Well, guys, this has been the first episode of Urban Wine Tribe TV. This is fucking crazy. Thank you again to those who came out, to those who couldn't make it. Thank you for all your support up until this point. We have a lot more stuff coming up. Shout out to my producer Jake, doing a great job with these videos. I couldn't do it without you, brother. Jake, thank you so much, bro. Thank you for all the work you're doing. Thank you to Bottleco for having us. What an awesome venue. I'm looking forward to doing some more stuff here. Shout out to my cast here. We got Charisma, Ryan, John, Mitch, and Candace. Thank you so much. We're gonna shout out to Mishmax for the macarons. Shout out to Angel Class from Lit Barbecue for the wings. Posh DJs, thank you so much. We're gonna close out the show with Fame Gillette performing No More. Let's close it out. Let's go.
Girl, I ain't beat now. Running these streets now. All I want is respect. All the shit I regret. All the shit he should've peeped now. Would've been a couple weeks now. When you start to get weak now. Wanna take it back, but you got no receipts now. It cost you, so you free now. Can't deny you and D now. Gotta deny you the D now. Blind, I can see now. Did it, you done up, sundown to sun up. You went down and one up, you know, the summer. With Stevie, I wonder, we could be friends after fucking this lover. We're so undercover when we ain't in covers.
You put nothing above us. I don't wanna love like you. I don't need a love like you no more. I don't wanna love like you. I don't wanna love like you. I don't need a love like you no more. I don't wanna love like you.